To begin with Ma Tovu on page 8, and Jacob is going to begin the singing because I left my reading glasses in the robing room. Ma Tovu, I will be right back.
Ma Tovu, oh halecha
which can be found in your booklets. There are two booklets. They look the same. The ones that open on the English side have page numbers, and I'll call out the page numbers in them. It's on page 4. The ones that open on the Hebrew side don't have any typos, and yet they don't have any page numbers. You know, the thing about Yom Kippur is that you have to be willing to let go of mistakes. That's what we're all here for. So either you have a few typos and you have page numbers, or you don't have any typos and you have no page numbers. So we're going to manage together as a community. So if there's numbers in your booklet, it's on page 4. If you're on page 4, you're missing a couple of lines. We'll figure it out as we go along. I know. It's all about the Yom Kippur spirit. Ki le'olam chasto. We continue.
Hodu l'Adonai ki tov, ki le'olam chasto. Hodu le'Elohei ha'Elohim, ki le'olam chasto.
Hodu l'Adonai ha'Adonim,
ki le'olam chasto.
le'oseh niflaot gedolot levado,
ki le'olam chasto. Le'oseh hashamayim bifnunam, ki le'olam chasto. Le'rokah ha'aretz al hamayim, ki le'olam chasto.
le'oseh orim gedolim,
ki le'olam chasto.
et hashemesh lememshelet bayom,
ki le'olam chasto. Venatan artzam lenachala, ki le'olam תן לחם לכל בשר, כי לעולם חסדו. הודו לאל השמיים, כי לעולם חסדו. יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי לי.
Everyone together.
Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai.
We continue with Ashrei, which is on page 14 in your Machzor, or transliterated immediately below Ki Le'olam Chasto. Even if you don't know the words, you can join us with Yai Lai 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 Lai. I'm sure that everybody can come together for that. Ashrei.
Ashrei yoshvei beitecha, hoja halelucha sela. Ashrei yoshvei beitecha, hoja halelucha sela. Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo, Ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Eloham. Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo, Ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Eloham. Yam bara bam bara bam bara bam bara yam bara bam bara bam bara bam bara yam bara bam bara bam bara bam bam bam. Yam bara bam bara bam bara bam bara yam bara bam bara bam bara bam bara yam bara bam bara bam bara yam bam bam. Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo, Ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Eloham. Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo, Ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Eloham.
Hallelujah is on page 18. The last two lines are transliterated below.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
We continue with Baruch Hu, the call to worship, on page 24. It is transliterated below. Please rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach leolam vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed.
Please be seated. So it's my pleasure to once again invite Rabbi Erin Glazer up to the bima and one more time to say welcome, and we're so happy to have you here. She's going to introduce the Shema for us.
Why on all other days do we recite the first line of the Shema out loud and recite the second line quietly? But on this day, Yom Kippur, we recite both lines out loud. Sounds kind of like one of the 4 questions from Passover, but that's the wrong holiday. Still a good question. In a moment, we will recite Shema together, and we will proclaim the second line, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed, out loud with our full voices. And this is the only time of the year when we do that. Usually we whisper this line quietly to ourselves, and today we proclaim out loud. So the question is, why? The Midrash teaches that Moshe heard Baruch Shem Kavod from the angels. And then Moshe taught these words of praise to the ancient Israelites. But on most days, our mistakes and our wrongdoings keep us distant from the level of the angels. And so we say the words, but we say them quietly to ourselves, and we acknowledge that we still have a ways to go to where we'd like to be. On Yom Kippur, we do a lot of hard work. And the truth is, the last 10 days, we've been doing a lot of hard work, difficult spiritual work, asking questions: who do I want to be in this new year? What do I want to change? What do I want to accept about myself and truly love about myself? How can I be kinder to others? Yes, we think about the ways in which we've messed up, made mistakes, hurt people. We make promises to ourselves and to God, and we hope that we're going to make better choices in the year ahead. And so when we arrive at this moment, Yom Kippur morning, we've done a lot of that work. Because of our prayers and our promises to think of others, to think about justice, to do the right thing, to be kind to ourselves as well, we're elevated to the level of the angels. And today we're able to say their words of praise out loud. So we'll join together for Shema. Yeah.
The Shema can be found on page 34. And as Rabbi Aaron said, we'll say Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto together out loud. Shema Yisrael Adonai
Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meotecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. We continue with Michamocha on page 40. Transliterated below, middle of the page. La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Michamocha ba'elim Adonai Michamocha So in a moment, we're going to sing Tzur Yisrael, and then we're going to say a silent Amidah. As I've said before, the Amidah is a little confusing in this machzor. I will break it down for you. It's a little bit to remember. If you want to use the formal text, you're going to pray page 56, then 64 to 7, and then 74 to 80. I know it's a lot to remember. I'll say it again. Page 56, pages 64 to 67, and then pages 74 to 80, I think starting with the confession. So you'll know you're in the right place on 74 when you find a Shamnu. Now, it is always, I can remember coming to BJ for the first time 25 years ago. Wow. And I can remember the moment of hearing Roli say, or if you prefer, the text of your own heart. And I can just remember the feeling of, oh, wow, I can actually say what's in my own heart, and that being the beginning of everything. So please feel free to, instead, take some time for the text of your own heart. Mike Whitman, the director of Flala, is going to be offering us some words of Kavanah after the Amidah before Avinu Malkeinu. But please take time either with the formal text, with the text of your heart, both if you'd like, and it is a rather long Amidah, so as I asked last night, we ask for your patience as the people who are completing the text say the entire text. So we'll rise, we'll face Yerushalayim, and we'll say Tzur Yisrael, which is at the bottom of page 40. Tzur Yisrael, Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, Uvdechinu mecha, Yehuda ve'Yisrael, Lo Aleinu, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Adonai, Gal shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Please be seated. I'd like to invite Mike Whitman, the Director of Family Life and Learning, to introduce Avinu Malkeinu.
I'm much shorter. There was once a king who had an only son, the apple of his eye. The king wanted his son to master different fields of knowledge and to experience various cultures. So he sent him far off to another country, supplied him with generous quantities of gold and silver, so that all of his needs were cared for. Far away from home, the son squandered all of the money until he was left completely destitute, with nothing. In his distress, he returned back to his father's house, and after much difficulty, he managed to arrive at the gate of the courtyard of his father's palace. In the passage of time, he had actually forgotten the language of his native country, and he was unable to identify himself to the guards. In utter despair, he began to cry out in a loud voice, and the king, who recognized the voice of his son, went running out to him, brought him into his house, kissing him and hugging him. Rabbi Baal Shem Tov reminds us that the king in this parable is God. The prince in this story is the Jewish people, who are consistently referred to as the children of God. Just like God, just like the king, God sends a soul down to the world in order to do good in the world, to study Torah, to do mitzvot, to change and mend the world. However, the soul can become very distant and forgets everything to which it has become accustomed to. And in the long exile, it forgets even its own language. So it utters a simple cry to a father, mother, and God in heaven. Some rabbis say that the sound of the shofar is our great cry. From deep within, a blast expresses our regret for the past and our determination for the future. And just like the king, God hears our cry and rushes to us with open arms, embracing us despite our mistakes, and most assuredly welcomes us home. The Avinu Malkeinu is one of those prayers, those moments when we ask God to hear our call, to show us compassion, to accept our prayers, to take us back with loving arms. Avinu Malkeinu Shema Kolenu. God, we are standing at the gates right now in this very moment of your palace. Hear our cry. Avinu Malkeinu Chatanu Lefanecha. Our souls have strayed. We have lost our way. Avinu Malkeinu Chamol Aleinu. Have compassion on us. Take us into your loving arms. And when we feel that compassion, let us learn to use our loving arms for those that are lost and are in need of our embrace and of our compassion. May this year be filled with compassion for our families, compassion for the other, and compassion for the world. Kamar Chatima Tova.
So we're going to continue with Avinu Malkeinu. We're going to rise as the ark is opened, and Avinu Malkeinu can be found on the bottom of page 82, and it's transliterated below. Please rise as the ark is open. Okay, the ark is open. It is prepared for all of our prayers as Mike prepared us to think about what it is that we may want to very gently place into the ark. Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu banenu banenu ki ein banu masi aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu.
You may be seated. We continue now with the Torah service. It's on page 84 in your machzor. It is also transliterated in your booklets. Page 84, Seder Hotzaat HaTorah.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai ve'en k'maasecha
Malchutecha malchut kol olamim umemshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Av harachamim heitiva v'tzoncha et Zion. Tivne cholot Yerushalayim, ki becha levad batachnu. Melech Elam benisa Adon olamim. Please rise, middle of the page.
Vayehi bin Aharon vayomer Moshe Kuma Adonai ve'afutzu oivecha ve'yanusu mifanecha mipanecha ki mitzion tetzeh Torah ki mitzion tetzeh Torah udevar Adonai miYerushalayim Baruch shenatan Torah Torah Baruch shenatan Torah Torah le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato.
Adonai, Adonai, middle of 86, transliterated below.
Adonai, Adonai, Elchachun Bechanu, Erech Apayim Verach Chesed Ve'emet, Noseh Chesed La'alafim, Noseh Avon V'Pesha V'Chata'ah וחטא ונקה. אדוני, אדוני, אל רחום וחנון, ערב אפיים ורב חסד ואמת, נוצר חסד לאלפים, נוזר עוון ופשע, וחטא ונקה.
We continue with the Shema at the top of 88. We'll sing it responsively. Matan will lead us, and then we will reply. Shema, top of 88.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'norah Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'norah Shemo.
Gadlu Adonai iti unero mema shemo yachdav lecha Adonai Torah, Udvar Adonai Yerushalayim. Give me Zion Tetzei Torah, Udvar Adonai Yerushalayim. Give me Zion Tetzei Torah, Udvar Adonai Yerushalayim. Give me Zion Tetzei Torah, Udvar Adonai
Romamu Adonai Eloheinu, Vishtachavu lahadam raglav kadosh hu. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu, Vishtachavu lahar kodsho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. My older daughter left for college last month. Raise your hands if you saw the movie The Incredibles 2 this summer. Okay. So I have been feeling a little bit like the main character in Bow, the short film that was shown before The Incredibles. On some level, I wish that I could have just opened up my mouth and eaten my little dumpling so that she wouldn't grow up. But I also try to remind myself of the flip side of my sadness, which is how amazing it is that we are created with the capacity to love so deeply. Another movie I went to see this summer was the Mr. Rogers movie. Are you seeing a pattern? Summer, children away, lots of movies, actually having a little bit of time. My favorite moment in the Mr. Rogers movie was when he talked about the speeches that he used to give at college graduations. He gave many, many speeches at many college graduations. And in each and every college graduation speech, he takes a moment and he turns to the graduates and he asks them to think right then and there about all of the people that have cared for them in their lives. I tried it, and it was an amazing experience. Try it for yourself right now. Take a minute. Think about all of the people in your whole life that have cared for you. I would venture to guess that the people in this room have overall probably been the fortunate recipients of a lot of love. The first message of Yom Kippur is you are loved. We are all, as Edgar Allan Poe once said, loved with a love that is more than love. What if, on Yom Kippur, as we are being asked to reflect on who we are and who we want to be, we saw ourselves through the eyes of the people who have loved us best? What would that feel like? And here's another question. Why is it not 100% true that that is actually who we are? Could it possibly be that we are all as capable and as caring and as brave and as resourceful as the people who love us the most think that we are? And even if, as is always the case, even if the love of the people who love us the most is imperfect, even if that love, as is all human love, is flawed and conditional and complicated, Yom Kippur comes to say that God's love is not. God's love is simple. You are loved exactly as you are. Now, I'm guessing that the minute that I said God's love, I probably lost 70% of the adults and 90% of the teenagers. Am I right? So, I have a request. Just for this morning, just for the next hour and a half, just until 12:30, I'm asking you to try on the idea that in a universe which is too complex and too mysterious for any of us to fully understand it, the possibility exists that deep love for us all is built into its foundations. Just try it on for size till the end of services. You can leave it at the back with your machzor at the door at the end. But meanwhile, just walk around in it for the next hour and a half. The fact that we are loved is not the only message of Yom Kippur, however. As the Torah understands it, we have some responsibilities as a result of that love that we've been given. We have to pay it forward, so to speak. But to whom? It's not actually to our parents. That is not who the Torah tells us to love. The Torah does not tell us to love our parents, although it does tell us to respect our parents, just putting it out there for all the kids. The Torah doesn't tell us to love our siblings. The Torah doesn't tell us to love our friends. The Torah doesn't tell us to love our teachers or our rabbis, none of those groups. There's two groups of people that the Torah tells us we have to love. The first is our neighbor. So here's another thought exercise. I want you to think about your class or your grade in school. Now first, think about your closest friends, the ones that you hang out with during recess, the ones that you see after school. Okay. Now think about somebody else, maybe someone who sits near you in some class. Not the kid that bugs you the most in the whole grade, not that kid, but also not your best friend, just a classmate. Just someone you know a little, but not too well, someone who's not in your circle of friends. That's her. That's the one the Torah tells you that you have to love. Not the one that's easiest, not the one you tell your secrets to, but also not the one that's hardest. The one who is near you. It is our job to love those people. And there's a second category of people that we're told to love. There's an expression in Hebrew that I love. It's called mishugea ladavar. Mishugea ladavar is someone who has like only one subject that they're completely obsessed with. So like, for instance, when I was growing up, my brother and my father were mishugea ladavar about the New York Mets. No matter how many times they lost, it was all about the New York Mets. In fact, I can remember that during the series in 1986, I left the room to get something to drink, and they scored a run, and they wouldn't let me back in the room because they were afraid that I was going to ruin the streak, so I had to watch the rest of the game in the hallway. So mishugea ladavar is like when you're completely obsessed with one subject. The Torah is mishugea ladavar, completely obsessed with loving the stranger. The Talmud teaches that there are 36 different places in the Torah when it tells us to love the stranger. The Torah really, really, really wants us to love the stranger. As the Torah understands it, the stranger is whoever is most vulnerable, whoever has the least power, who doesn't have a lot of people around to depend on. This summer, I dropped off some groceries to a woman who is seeking sanctuary in a church so that she won't be deported. Her daughter was born here and goes to a local elementary school. And when she picked up the bags, she opened the door while I was still standing there, and she looked at me and she said, "God bless you." That blessing just took my breath away. There she was offering me something in the midst of what must have been the most difficult part of her life. It really made me ask myself, how can I take more responsibility for the stranger in our midst? For that same stranger who had the grace and spiritual generosity to reach out and offer me a blessing. Who's the stranger for you? Who's the stranger for us as a community this year? Who needs us to reach out to them? So I'm leaving us with 3 very big jobs, but it's Yom Kippur. I figure if ever there's a time for big jobs, this is it. Number 1, see if you can see yourself through the eyes of whoever loves you best. Number 2, pay attention to how you interact with the people that are near you, not your best friends, but the people that are just in your life. And finally, and maybe this is the one for us to all think about together, what can we do together to fulfill what the Torah is mishugea ladavar about? The command it repeats over and over, to love the stranger in our midst. The Torah reading can be found in your booklets. And I'd like to call up our Gabayim and our first Torah reader, please. ויעזור ויגן וישיר לכל החוסים בו ונאמר אמן. הכל גודל אלוהינו תנו כבוד לתורה. יעמדו הראשונים ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. ואתם הדבקים באדוני אלוהיכם חיים כולכם היום.
So for our first Aliyah, we're going to recognize that this year we are celebrating the 100th anniversary of our sanctuary, which is pretty, I just heard Andy say wow, it's pretty wow. And that we get to celebrate Yom Kippur, observe Yom Kippur, be together for Yom Kippur this morning in the sanctuary. During the year we celebrate its 100th anniversary. We want to mark this with our first Aliyah. So we're thinking about all of the generations who have celebrated together in this holy space. And so we'd like to honor multi-generational BJ families. So think back, if your family has celebrated a baby naming, a bar or bat mitzvah, and a wedding, all three, or more, I'd invite you to come join us for the first Aliyah. And if your family has been members of BJ for 3 generations or more, however many generations are here, you're welcome to join us for the first Aliyah as well. Ya'amdu ha'olim la'aliyah rishona.
Come on up, veterans. The old guard. All right. We get a little. Hello. No, you're very young. All right. Wow. Come on around. Come on around. Just in the wow department, when Rabbi Aaron and I spoke about this, I was like, I'm not sure if anyone's going to come up, but look at this. That is fantastic. Okay, come on in, everybody. There's more of you. Keep it coming. Keep it around. What's supposed to be the Torah? There's more room. Come on up. Keep coming.
Amen. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe acharei mot shnei bnei Aharon bekorvatam lifnei Adonai vayamutu. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe daber el Aharon achicha ve'al yavo v'chol et el hakodesh מבית לפרוכת אל פני הכפורת אשר על הארון ולא ימות כי בענן איראה על הכפורת. בזאת יבוא אהרון אל הקודש בפר בין בקר לחטאת ועיל לעולה כתונת בד קודש ילבש ומכנסי בד יהיו על בשרו ובאבנית בד יחגור ובמצנפת בד יצנוף בגדי קודש הם ורחץ במים את בשרו ולבשם ומאת עדת בני ישראל ייקח שני שעירי עזים לחטאת ועיל אחד לעולה ויקריב אהרון
את פר החטאת אשר לו, וכיפר בעדו ובעד ביתו.
So it is beautiful to see so many generations of BJ families as we celebrate 100 years in the sanctuary. We celebrate the strength and vitality of our community, which is beautifully represented by the grandparents and children and grandchildren and others who are standing here today. So we hope for you, your families, and our whole congregation, many more celebrations in our sanctuary together in the years to come. Yasher Koach.
A young timer, right. Sorry, the young timers. The second aliyah was traditionally reserved for the Levi'im. The Levi'im are the ones who would lead the sacred service in the temple. So this second aliyah on Yom Kippur is always reserved for our Levi'im. So I'd like to invite up all the service leaders, the band, all of our Torah readers, our ushers, our gabayim, our greeters, facility staff. If you're here, we'd love you to join us. Flal staff, for sure, please come on up. When they're all up, I'm going to say something. Come on, everybody who is in the service. I know there are a lot of you. Bring it on up. Do you want to take a look? You got it? Hang on one second, because I want to say something before she starts. Ow. Okay. Before we say, we have everybody? Come on in. Come on. Before we say the bracha, I just want to acknowledge that Abigail Bromberger, who is reading her dad's dad, Alan's dad, died yesterday, Sunday. I would like to dedicate this aliyah to his memory. Though I didn't know him, I'm sure he would have been incredibly proud to be watching you reading Torah. And today on Yom Kippur, which is a day when we think about the people we have lost and loved, I want to bring your grandfather's spirit into this room as you read Torah. Okay, can someone give it a... Adonai hamavarach leolam va'ed. Baruch Adonai hamavarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol avim, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Amen. Amen. ולקח את שני השעירים והעמיד אותם לפני אדוני פתח אוהל מועד ונתן אהרון על שני השעירים גורלות, גורל אחד לאדוני וגורל אחד לעזאזל, והקריב אהרון את השעיר אשר עליו הגורל אדוני, ועשהו חטאת, והשעיר אשר עליו הגורל לעזאזל יעמד חי לפני אדוני לכפר עליו, לשלח אותו לעזאזל המדברה. והקריב אהרון את פר החטאת אשר לו, וכיפר בעדו ועד ביתו, ושחט לפני את פר החטאת אשר לו.
Robin. I want to take this moment to acknowledge everybody who has participated in this service by name, because when you take a look, it takes a lot of people to enable us to come together in prayer on Yom Kippur. So first I want to acknowledge our amazing teen service leaders and band players, Jacob, Matan, Ayelet, Sophia, Eli, and Matan again, who's also playing, as well as our Torah readers, Max, Abigail, and Matan. Matan had a hat trick today. I want to thank our ushers, Deborah Ziegler, Adam Klotz, Paula Weiss, Rachel Lazarin, Alyssa Fishman, and Jonathan Schwartz, who I see up here, as well as our Gabayim, Stephen Friedgood, Robin Kerner, Galit Lapatin, Bordero, Andy Sherman, who's been our Gabay Sheni. Thank you very much, Andy. Max Bordero and Eli Weiss. Our greeters, Sabrina Peck, Joshua Peck, and Josh Pensner. I want to really thank our facility staff. The people who have been taking care of us in 88th Street are Patty, Cassandra, Brian, Joe, and Brandon. And I want to thank the Flal staff for all their support, Mike, Ayala, Danielle, Adina, and Aniko. Yay! Okay, and I want to just reserve my greatest thanks for my three adult partners, in addition to very happily welcoming Rabbi Aaron. I want to thank my three adult partners in leading the service, Robin and Dova and Yakir. You may have noticed that Jerry Corman, who usually leads the music, is not here today. As I said on Rosh Hashanah, he had the nerve to want to be with his wife and his daughter. Okay, and he gifted us Yakir, who's here somewhere. He gifted us Yakir, who's been amazing, and it's been thank you so much. And Dova and Robin, thank you for all of the incredible time and effort you put in. I every year feel so blessed by this incredibly large team and the dedication that you all give to this service. Thank you very, very much. I need one person to stay up.
For our third Aliyah, we would like to honor the service of the community spirit of service in our congregation. So if in the past year you took on a new commitment to volunteer to help others, either here at BJ or somewhere else, you are welcome to come up, invited to come up for this Aliyah. So in the spirit of service, anyone who took on a new commitment to volunteer here at BJ or somewhere else in the community, please join us on the Bima. Ya'amdu ha'olim la'aliyah shlishi.
Thank you for your service. Come on up. Come on, don't be shy. Come on in. Okay, does somebody have a telly? You want to give a kiss? My Tom will show you where to kiss it. We have a few stragglers. Come on up. Okay, so, yeah, one more. All the service we can get. Hang on one sec. All right, go ahead. You guys are up here. Baruch Adonai HaMavarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMavarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Amen. Velakach melo hamachta kachale esh me'al hamizbeach milifnei Adonai umelo chofnav ketoret samim daka vehevi mibeit laparochet venatan et haketoret al ha'esh livnei Adonai vechisa anan haketoret et hakaporet asher haidud velo yamud velakach midam haparm vehizav etzbao al pnei hakaporet kedma velifnei hakaporet yazeh sheva pe'amim min hadam betzbao v'shachat et se'ir hachatat asher lam vehevi
והביא את עמו אל מבית לפרוכת, ועשה את עמו כאשר עשה לדם הפר, והיזה אותו על הכפורת ולפני הכפורת, וכיפר הקודש מטומאות בני ישראל ומפשעיהם לחוכתותם, וכן יעשה לאור המועד השוכן איתם בתוך טומאותם, וכל אדם לא יהיה באור המועד בבואו לכפר בקודש עד צאתו, וכיפר בעדו ובעד ביתו ובעד כל קהל ישראל.
As we think about entering the new year, we're inspired by your service and hope that all of us learn from your example and take the opportunity to do what we can to help BJ and to help our community at large in the ways that you have in this past year. So thank you. Yasher Koach. So in the presence of our sacred Torah, we're going to offer a prayer for healing. Misha Berach. If there's someone you're thinking of this morning, you may share their names aloud now before we offer the prayer, and we'll hear our voices join together, and that's okay. Our sounds, our voices will overlap. We'll share the names of our loved ones or ourselves before we offer a prayer for healing. So if there's someone you're thinking of, please say their name out loud. Thank you. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah hu yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim Hakadosh Baruch Hu yimaleh rachamim aleihem v'lechachazikam u'rapotam v'lashlach lehem mehara refuah shlema refuat hanefesh u'refuat haguf hashta ba'agala v'zman kariv v'nomar Amen. We wish for them complete healing of body and mind, strength for those who care for them. We say together, Amen.
We're now going to lift and dress the Torah, so please rise. Yamdu, Hagba v'Glila. Zot HaTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. This is Rabbi Aaron Glazer's husband, Rabbi Joe Skloot. You are definitely hired permanently. That was a beautiful Hagbah. Okay. So we are now going to continue with our youth course service. If you have children that really are not going to be able to be with us with some level of decorum, I'd say for the next 10 minutes, I'd love to have a little bit of space in the room for memories. Do the best you can. I remember what it was like to be a young mother. The core of our youth course service at Family Services is really to give all of you some sacred, quiet time to talk about the people in your lives that have made their imprint on you that have died. And if you'd like to recite the traditional youth corps prayer, it is here in your booklet. In the booklets that have the page numbers, it's towards the end. You'll find it. It says youth corps prayer on it. Our custom at Family Services, as many of you know, is to begin with our sacred words from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So here's our kavanah, our intention for this youth course service. If there is one thing that Voldemort cannot understand, it is love. He didn't realize that love as powerful as your mother's for you leaves its own mark, not a scar, no visible sign. To have been loved so deeply, even though the person who loved us is gone, will give us some measure of protection forever. Please take a moment with your family, with your loved ones, to share your memories, and I will come back to the bima in a couple of minutes. Please take a moment to finish your conversations. as you say your last few words of memory, we're all going to rise together. This is the one time of year where we all say Kaddish together. So please rise and turn to page 184 in your Machzor. Page 184. And we say together as one community on the top of 184 or in transliteration below. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah be'alma divrach hiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh b'chayechon uvyomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman karib v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei kudsha b'richu. Le'ela le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiram be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. Please remain standing. Before we return the Torah to the Ark, I want to call on Ayala Wasser, our Associate Director of Family Life and Learning, to lead us in a prayer for Israel and the United States.
God and God of our ancestors, we ask for your blessing on our country, for its government, for its leaders and advisors. Teach them insights from your Torah so that they may govern fairly. Bring peace, happiness, and well-being to all of the people who live in our country. We also ask for your blessing upon the state of Israel. Open our eyes to the wonder of Israel. Grant courage, wisdom, and faith to her leaders. Be with the men and women on whose shoulders Israel's safety depends. Protect them from harm. We pray for a day when the vision of your prophet will come to be. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they experience war anymore, and let us say, Amen.
I want to invite Matan back up, please. We're going to return the Torah to the Ark. We're on page 106. Please remain standing as the Ark is opened. Top of 106.
Hallelu et Shem Adonai, ki nisgav shemo levado. Hodo al eretz v'shamayim v'yarem keren le'amo. Tehillah lecho chasidam livnei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
please remain standing. Eitz Chaim, top of 110.
Eitz Chaim hi, L'machazikim ba, V'tomcheha, Yerushalayim, Teracheha, Darchei Noah, V'chol
A long time ago, there's no kings in this story. We've had a lot of kings. A long time ago, a young girl named Rachel and her cousin Grisha lived in a small town far away in Russia. Rachel and Grisha were inseparable. Grisha had come to live with Rachel and her family after his mother died, and his father went to America to try to build a better life and then bring his family along. Rachel's mother and grandmother always worried about Grisha. They worried about whether he was eating enough. They worried about whether he was making friends in school. But mostly they worried about whether he was going to get cold in his threadbare coat. They offered to make him a new coat, but Grisha always refused. I like my coat the way it is. He would always insist. One day, the news spread that the Cossacks were coming on their horses. Rachel and Grisha's family trembled in the cellar as they heard the sounds of windows being broken and dogs barking. When it was over, there were many homes that had been destroyed, and Rachel's grandmother said, "We're finished. We are going to go to America and meet Grisha's father." So they set about making their plans to leave. They sold most of what they owned in order to buy tickets on a ship, and they packed what little belongings they had. What worried them the most were the stories that they had heard about immigrants who had given so much to come and traveled so far, only to be turned away at Ellis Island. "We must make a good impression so that we will be allowed to stay in America," their grandmother told them. "Everyone must look their best. We will have to do something about Grisha's coat. It is too torn and tattered." "No," cried Grisha, grabbing the coat and running into the attic to hide. "What does he see in that tattered coat?" asked Rachel's mother. "He sees the inside," said Rachel. "It's lined with wool from his own mama's coat. Inside, he can still feel his mama's touch." "Ah," their grandmother sighed. Everybody lowered their eyes because they were remembering how Grisha's mother had struggled to finish that coat when she was sick. Not another word was spoken about the coat, and Rachel's grandmother took out her basket to mend it one more time. Early the next morning, they said goodbye to the only place they had ever called home, and they began the difficult journey. The ocean voyage took 14 days, and they were all quite sick. Grisha and Rachel told each other stories to try to pass the time. Finally, they made their way to a long line of people at Ellis Island. And so it was that Grisha's tattered coat made its way with them. The line was extremely long, and they were also very scared. So Rachel and Grisha tried to distract themselves by telling more stories. They told a story about a magical bird with golden feathers. And as Rachel spread her arms and pretended to fly, she lost her balance and she fell against her cousin. Then Grisha fell against his grandmother's basket, hitting it with the side of his face. He wasn't hurt, but by the time it was his turn to be examined by the doctor, his eye was very red and swollen. When the doctor lifted his eyelid with a button hook, Grisha cried out in pain. Quickly, the doctor took chalk and marked a large letter E on the back of Grisha's coat, signifying eye disease, which of course he didn't actually have. Suddenly, Rachel realized Grisha hadn't passed the inspection. He was going to be sent back to Russia. "I won't let them send you back," she whispered fiercely to him as she tried to hold back her tears. Suddenly, an idea came to Rachel. Quickly, she pulled Grisha's coat off and she turned it inside out, exposing the beautiful wool that from his mother's coat. Now that dreaded mark was hidden from view, and Rachel's father was able to walk Grisha over to another doctor, this one who was a little more patient and understood Yiddish. He could see that it was only a scratch on Grisha's eye, and this time, the doctor kept his chalk in his pocket. The family passed safely through inspection. Rachel's grandmother hugged Grisha. "You were right, Grisha. That coat of yours is very special. I hope that your mama's touch will be with you for a long time, not only here," she said, pointing to the wall, "but also here, on the inside, where it matters the most." It's now many, many winters later, and those two cousins' whispered stories can be heard no more. But in a land very far from the icy Russian winds, Grisha's coat has been passed down to his children and to their children and to their children after them. And it remains to tell a bigger story of the journeys that life takes us on and the power of love to protect us. Ya lie, 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 lie. Ya lie, 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 lie. Ya lie, 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 lie. Ya lie, 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 lie. Ya I heard a very beautiful ending there for some children. Thank you. We are going to continue with the Musaf service for Yom Kippur right now. Musaf begins on page 144. It is transliterated in your booklets, and we rise as the ark is opened. Page 144, Musaf Amidah. Okay. Now we're all ready. Musaf Amidah, no problem, page 144. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur V'hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'koneh HaKol V'zocher Chaste Avot v'imahot U'mevi Goel Livnei Bneihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Misod hachamim unevodim umilemed dat mevinim Eftecha fi bitfila ubetachanunim lechalot ulechanen pnei melech malei rachamim mochel v'soleach la'avonim. Middle of 144, Zochreinu l'chaim. Zochreinu l'chaim, melech hafetz b'chaim. Zochreinu l'chaim, melech hafetz b'chaim. V'chotveinu b'sefer ha'chaim. Lemancha Elohim chayim. Melech ozer u'moshe u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ופוקד שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים, אתה רב להושיע מוריד הצל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע. מי כמוך אב הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. turn to the top of page 146 as the ark is open for Unatana Toke.
Kedushat hayom ki hu nora hayom ki hu nora hayom ותפתח את ספר הזיכרונות ומאליו יקרא וחותם יד כל אדם בו ובשופר גדול ותחתות תצווה לכל בריאה ותכתוב את גזר דינה בראש השנה יקצבו וביום צום כיפור יחצבו
on Yom Kippur it is sealed.
Kama yarun v'kama yibareu.
How many shall pass away and how many shall be created?
Mi yichyeh u'mi yamut.
Who shall live and who shall die?
Mi v'kitzo u'mi lo v'kitzo.
Who shall live a full life and who shall not?
Berosh Hashanah yikatevu, v'yom Yom Kippur yechatevu.
Berosh Hashanah yikatemun, u'beyom Yom Kippur yechatemun.
Mi b'mayim u'mi b'esh, mi b'cherev u'mi b'chaya. Mi v'rab u'mi v'tzama, mi v'rash u'mi v'magefa. Berosh Hashanah yikatevu, v'yom Yom Kippur yechatevu.
Berosh Hashanah yikatemun, u'beyom Yom Kippur yechatemun.
Mi v'chanika u'mi v'sekila, mi anuach u'mi anuach.
Who shall be at rest and who shall wander?
Mi ashkid u'mi Torah.
Who will be calm and who will be confused?
Mi shalev u'mi niasa.
Who will be at peace and who will suffer?
Mi ani u'mi ashir.
Who will be rich and who will be poor?
Mi yushbal u'mi aru.
Who will be brought low and who will be raised up?
Berosh Hashanah yikatevu, v'yom Yom Kippur yechatevu.
Berosh Hashanah yikatemun, u'beyom Yom Kippur yechatemun. But prayer, personal change, and righteous actions have the power to avert the decree. U'teshuva, u'tefila, u'tzedaka, ma'avirin et roh hazeh. We remain standing as the ark is closed. The Kedusha is on page 148. ככתוב על יד נביאך וכרזל זה ואמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוא כל הארץ כבודו כבודו מלא עולם משרתיו שואלים זה לזה היה מקום כבודו לעומתם ברוך יאמרו Baruch kivod Adonai mimkomo yifen berachamim v'yachon am hem yichadim shemo erev v'voker b'chol yom tamid pahamayim be'ahava shema omrim shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai echad. Please be seated. Rabbi Aaron will introduce Shema Kolenu.
Several years ago, I served as the rabbi for the Hebrew Association of the Deaf, known as HAD on the Lower East Side. Once a month, I led a Shabbat morning service for a small community of people who could not hear and who communicated through sign language. The community created their own Siddur, their own prayer book, and as I read the English translations of the various prayers, the sign language interpreter would sign the prayers for the congregation. Communal readings and prayers were the most beautiful. I stood at the bima, and I looked out as the congregation quietly, silently moved their bodies and their hands, signing together the readings and the prayers with each other. One particular prayer from this community has stayed with me ever since. The word Shema is usually translated as hear, as in, hear, O Israel. But that didn't make sense for people who could not be commanded to hear or listen. Instead, the prayer book for the Hebrew Association for the Deaf read, "Pay attention, O Israel." And instead of a gesture that referenced the ear, the sign for Shema included a large clap. So there was a visual to get people's attention, pay attention. Shema, pay attention. I've always thought this is a most beautiful and most appropriate translation. Isn't that what we're really saying when we want someone to listen? If we want someone to hear us? Pay attention to me. Pay attention to what I want to share with you. Let me know that you see me. Let me know that you are with me. Our next prayer also includes the word Shema. Shema Kolenu, we ask of God. This is usually translated as listen to our voices, hear our voices, and hear our prayers. And yet, if we apply the translation from my friends at the Hebrew Association of the Deaf, we can understand the prayer a bit differently. Shema Kolenu, pay attention to us, God. Shema Kolenu, pay attention to what I'm trying to share with you. Shema Kolenu, let me know that you see me. Let me know that you are here with me. Shema Kolenu is not about asking God to hear our prayers and then give us what we want. Most of us, especially the adults in the room, have come to understand that this is not how prayer works. Instead, Shema Kolenu is about us reaching out to God, asking God to pay attention to us. Shema Kolenu, pay attention and notice us, God. Let us know that our feelings matter, our prayers matter, we matter.
We continue with Shema Kolenu. We rise as the ark is opened. We're on page 164, and it is transliterated above. Page 164, Shema Kolenu.
Shema Kolenu Adonai Eloheinu Chus v'rachem aleinu v'kabel berachamim uvratzon et tefilatenu Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem Shema Koleinu Adonai Eloheinu Chus Verachem Aleinu Bekabel Berachamim Uvratzon Et Tefilateinu Hashivenu Adonai Elecha Benashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
Please be seated. Okay, so here's the situation. We've got like maybe 3 important prayers left. So the service is very close to finished, and I would like to ask for everybody's full energy to come together. We're going to continue with Ki Anu Amecha. It's on page 166. It's also transliterated in your booklet. If you have the booklet with the page numbers, it's on page 13. Take a minute to find the transliterations if you don't know the Hebrew. And let's see if we can bring all of our energy together for Ki Anu Amecha, page 166. We rise for Ashamnu, which is on page 168. Please keep your your booklet page here handy, because after we finish the Ashamnu, we're going to continue on this booklet. We're on 168, am I right? 168, transliterated below, Ashamnu. Please rise.
Baganu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu, Dofi, Hevinu, Veirshanu, Zadnu, Chamasnu, Tafanu, Sheker. Sararnu, Avinu, Pashanu, Sararnu, Kishinu Oreh. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Rashanu, Shichatnu, Tiavnu, Taginu, Titanu. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai.
Please remain standing. And because I think, especially in a family service, it's so important to acknowledge, in addition to the places we missed the mark, to think about the places where we got it right. We're also going to say a positive vidui. It's on your booklets here. It should say positive vidui Yom Kippur morning. And these were written by the teens. So these are their understanding of what are all the things we have done right. Let's all say together, positive vidui Yom Kippur morning. We have embraced new ideas. We have felt joy in other people's successes. We have been kind to our families. We have gone to sleep on time. We have been active citizens. We have exercised even when we were tired. We have tried something new. We have taken our dog to the park in the rain. We have done the dishes. We have been fearless and not worried about everyone else's judgment. We're going to continue right below that and say the al-chetz that were also written by our teenagers. We're going to say them responsively. So first, all of the adults are going to start with "We Missed the Mark," the first one, and then the teens and the children will continue with the second line, and we'll go back and forth, okay? So I didn't have such a good response from the children last night, and I know that really you guys are all very good, but still, let's have you read the second line. So adults, please, together. We miss the mark when we try to control our children's lives.
And we miss the mark when we are not patient with other people, particularly our parents.
We miss the mark when we judge people quickly.
And we miss the mark when we save everything for the last minute.
We miss the mark when we don't stand up for what we believe in because we are scared.
And we miss the mark when we worry too much about what others think about us.
Everyone together. For all these sins, O God of forgiveness, pardon us, forgive us, grant us atonement. Ve'al kulam elo slichot, slach lanu v'chalanu, kaper lanu. Adults, we begin. We miss the mark when we take our stress out on other people.
And we miss the mark when we take our privileges for granted.
We miss the mark when we focus too much on the end goal and not the process.
And we miss the mark when we forget about appointments and make other people wait.
We miss the mark when we don't spend enough time with our family.
And we miss the mark when we spend our time liking posts instead of liking people.
Together, for all these sins, O God of forgiveness, pardon us, forgive us, grant us atonement. please be seated. We conclude the Amidah with Besefer Chaim, bottom of page 176, transliterated at the back of your booklets.
בספר חיים, ברכה ושלום, ופרנסה טובה, ניזכר וניכתב לפניך, אנחנו וכל עמך בית ישראל, וחיים טובים ושלום. בספר חיים, ברכה ושלום, ופרנסה טובה, ניזכר וניכתב לפניך, אנחנו וכל עמך בית ישראל, וחיים טובים ושלום.
We continue with Hayom on page 178. Please rise as the ark is open. Page 178, please rise as the ark is open.
Ha 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 hayom, ha 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 hayom, 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 hayom te'amsenu, amen.
Ha 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 hayom, ha 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 hayom, 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 hayom tevarchenu.
Amen.
Ha 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 hayom, ha 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 hayom, 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 hayom tegadleinu.
Amen.
Hayom, 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 tidrashenu l'tova.
Amen.